Then let's shift back to now. You are at a stage where you're moving on to a different chapter in your life. So what's next for you?
Well, having been overseas for 20 years, I've had so many fantastic experiences. On the other hand, I've missed a lot with my family back in the United States. My wife and I get back there for maybe a week or 10 days once every summer. And after 20 years of missing activities and missing nieces and nephews growing up and my parents retiring and now having time and me not being there, I've taken the decision, Karen and I, that it's time to go back to the U.S. So we'll be going back. My only plans for the rest of this year are to enjoy time with my family. And we've got so many activities planned that we're going to enjoy together. And then next year, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I want to keep myself challenged. A few ideas that I'm pursuing are local politics in California. I'd like to take my management skills and translate that into a city government and see if I can help at a real community level to administer city government somewhere, on a city council or as a mayor or something at a real local level. I'm also interested in teaching, and my alma mater, university in California, has offered me a faculty position to teach international finance and basically share stories about when I was here, when I was there, this client, this story, and real practical application of some of the theory they study in the school. I also want to spend some time on some community projects. I've enjoyed that in Standard Chartered so much. Our Vision Initiative, Living with HIV/AIDS, when I was in Africa, malaria program to distribute bed nets for women and under 5 children. Those are some of the best memories I have in the bank, and I'd love to continue to contribute somehow on some of those kind of community programs. So we'll see. I'm not going to make any commitments till I actually get back there and start to compare all these things. But first priority is to really reconnect with my family.
Right, that's very important. Well, you're not in a corporate environment. There's no 5-year plans or 10-year plans to submit. You know, your life has been quite rich, you know, and I think everybody's life has been quite rich in some level, but your life's particularly all the ups and downs, all the different experiences. Where do you think this is pointing you out to in terms of your purpose? Where do you think you are meant to contribute in life, no matter what position or job or whatever you take?
I think what I would want to leave as a legacy, if that's the right word, is that somehow I made a difference in individual persons' lives. And I've had the privilege of managing and leading thousands of people now over the last 10 years in my CEO roles. And as I get to know people in those countries, and I think I've made a difference, one person at a time, in helping them to form out their own vision of their career and their priorities of what matters to them. Trying to be a role model, show them how to behave with integrity and honesty and fairness. And I think as I move on, if those lessons have made an impact, and somebody is then going to be more successful themselves as a leader because of some of the things they observed in me or some of the lessons I shared, that would make me very proud. And I know that some of the people I had a chance to work with 8-10 years ago in Africa are now very senior leaders in the bank, and I've watched them progress, and that gives me great pride to see them now CEOs and senior roles in the bank. So I guess that's the purpose that I am proud of so far, and I want to continue to have that kind of impact one person at a time and try and make them more successful and more better leaders themselves. But it isn't big groups of people all at once. It really has to be one by one by one. And I think I'll have those opportunities, whichever way I go in the future, to try and connect on a very personal level with someone and try and help mentor them, coach them to be all they can be in their lives.
Right. Well, as a final message, not just to Indonesians, but I'm sure to all different levels of professionals, what's your message for them if they want to go up to their next level? What do you think are some key things that they need to remember and make happen in their lives?
I think the first advice I would give is to don't be afraid to take a chance on yourself, to be courageous and take that leap of faith out of your comfort zone. As I think back in my career, it was those forks in the road where I knew choosing one way or the other was going to change the rest of my life. The first big choice was when Karen and I decided to go to Hong Kong. I could have stayed the easy course in Los Angeles and had, I'm sure, a very good career. But we took a leap of faith and went off to a foreign country that we didn't know. And I think that was the right move for me and for my wife. And then going to Africa a few years later and taking that leap of faith into the unknown. And really trusting my own self and saying, I'm going to take a chance on me. I think I can do this. All too often it's easy to say, well, not this time. I'm going to take the safe course. And my advice would be, take a chance on yourself. Trust your own self and take that leap of faith. That'd probably be the first piece of advice. The other piece of advice would be around teams and surrounding yourself with high quality people. I've always enjoyed working more as a member of a team. And life is just richer when you're working with other people rather than working all by yourself. The second piece of advice that I would give young talented managers would be to work with other people and to work in a team environment. I've always found that it's so much more fun and so much more satisfying to share the experience and share the challenge with other people. And that teamwork approach is very much a characteristic of Standard Chartered Bank, where we tend to solve problems and set strategy in groups. And I believe that if you have a group with different qualities and skills, the sum of the parts is much more than the individuals added up, because everyone's bringing different perspectives. We've got very different people in my top management team. As I said, there's a gender balance, but there's also about a 50-50 balance between Indonesians and foreigners. And so when we have challenges and we have issues to discuss, it's a very rich conversation because everyone contributes something different. And I think we come to a better outcome. And it's a lot more fun. If I spend the day sitting at my desk by myself, it's not nearly as satisfying as if I'm roaming around the bank, engaging with people one-on-one, talking to people. So that'd be my second part of advice, is trust other people, work with other people, join in teams, engage with partners. It's so much more fun. And I guess that the last piece of advice probably would be around morality, ethics, doing the right thing. Somebody told me long ago that their code of behavior, when they were faced with temptations or decisions, was to ask themselves, if my mother read about this decision in the newspaper, would she be ashamed of me or would she be proud of me? And I've always remembered that. And so as I've tried to make decisions, I've always applied that screen. I love my mother very much, and I would never want to embarrass her or have her be ashamed of me. So I always try and do the right thing and act with integrity. And I think your reputation is something that takes a career and a lifetime to build and just a moment to lose. And so I would caution young talent, aggressive, ambitious talent, not to compromise your principles and to behave in a way that your mother would be proud.
I'm sure your mother is very proud of you, Tom, and a lot of other people as well, because I think what you've done through your career, my impression of you is that you're a very unique individual. You know, you have the natural talent to inspire people, not just through what you say, but through what you do and how you behave on a daily life. So this Master Mentor series is really, to me, a privilege, because I'm sitting across a true mentor who lives and does what his principles are. So that's something that I think will take any professional to their next level. So I wish you all the best in your next level. As we're chatting during the breaks about, it's your halftime. It's about now deciphering the next half of your career, your life, and I'm sure it's going to be up and up for you. And I'm looking forward to hear stories from the people that you've touched along the way as well. So thank you for your time, and thank you for being a master mentor to all of us.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much. This was a lot of fun.